You're watching the ACC on ESPN. Welcome to Syracuse, where two teams in the top half of the ACC collide at the Dome. Florida State and Syracuse both with their arrows pointed up. One of the gems of this sport. We are off and running at the JMA Wireless Dome. Florida State in the black controls at 11-7 overall. And yeah, coming off that loss against Clemson, 78-67. It snapped the 5-game winning streak. You're going to see up to 12 different guys for the Noles. That's been the norm through the years for Leonard Hamilton. Here's Jalen Worley, the 6'7" point guard. Gets it to Watkins, and the lob to Deontay Green got tapped away. First look at Syracuse offensively in the starting group, led by Judah Mintz, 5th in the ACC in scoring at 18 a game. Second leading scorer is J.J. Starling, and nobody gets to. Sophomore from Fort Washington, Maryland, with his 100 at about 200 attempts at the free throw line. And he's out there with Worley, Darren Green, Watkins, and the sophomore sensation from Spain, Baba Miller.
Florida State's going to have to corral guys off the bounce. They got to do a really good job of keeping the ball in front of him. Here's another blow by
Starling for two.
Early here, they're not.
Green, one of the best shooters in the entire country. He connects on 40% from three. Miller on a high-low from Deontay Green, and the stuff.
Baba Miller is just so talented. Does so many things for the Seminole group. He's able to switch 1 through 5, handles it.
Mintz, another blow by, and you said Florida. Taylor Protes goes spinning on Cam Corrin. Tough following net there, and a blackout from Watkins. This is what he can do. A little bit of everything for Florida State. A lot of contact. No foul is called. And then a late foul is
not in until 9:15. So let's just forget about it. Both teams are actually doing it. They're really physical.
6 threes here on Saturday against Miami in that buzzer-beating win. Watkins draws the contact, gets it to go against J.J. Starling. After transferring in from VCU, where he was a 3-and-D guy against Miami.
Yeah, they're not as deep as Florida State as well, and so you got to monitor the pace of the game and how your guys do.
Tough shot for Starling on a step back in the mid-range. Darren Green pushing tempo to Cam Corrin underneath. Figures to get into the Maravich Center.
Worth every penny.
Last two national champions. Florida State by 1. About 5.5 minutes in. Bell knocks one down from deep.
Great job hitting the gap there by Benny Williams, but Chris Bell, you got to find him. He's the one guy, the best three-point shooter on the Orangeman roster, and you can't lose him.
Hit 4 of them on 10 attempts as Jameer Watkins answers to knot us up at 9.
Good thing about the Orangemen, they have multiple handlers, and now you see J.J. Starling initiating the offense, sliding Judah Mintz off the ball.
Mintz drives on the big core, and with the left hand scores.
Length, athleticism, and skill level.
He's trying to shake Bell. Gives it up to Primo Spears. Georgetown transfer, number 3 scorer. He gives it up for Green. Deep one goes for Darren Green. And career of Darren Green, originally from Charlotte, and the number 2 scorer for Leonard Hamilton's Noles. Here is Spears. Loves the mid-range. And now Chandler Jackson, sophomore guard from Memphis, with a teardrop that goes down. Williams secures it. It's switching 1 through 5 from Florida State. It's a deep bench, as always, for Leonard Hamilton. Forced a ton of turnovers, much like Syracuse. Kyle Cuff on the drive.
Can he stay in front of these guards on the ball switch?
Green goes driving on Bell. And now gives it up to Spears. Ball screen from Gainey. Green steps into one. Gainey the follow. Put up and run down by Mintz.
This is the pace we expect from both teams. They want to try to score before you set your defense.
Mintz attacks. Too strong, and a follow from Benny Williams. Possessions already in this first half. Baba Miller.
Yeah, you'd like to flash a player like Baba Miller in the high post.
Long one goes for Jameer Watkins. Spins one out. Watkins already the 3rd rebound. He's got 8 points, a couple of thefts in this first dozen minutes as well. The VCU transfer with a lob for Gainey.
Syracuse got to be careful on the offensive end of the floor right now. What's hurting them is they're taking quick shots.
Cuff.
Bro, huddle. Yo, huddle.
Unfortunately, sometimes it takes a loss like that to get you motivated and get you going. And the more games that Baba Miller gets, with, he's a full season into his college career. It's built off defense and volume of efforts. And he's trying to get a play, run a play here to run it in the post. He didn't get it, now you're playing.
They've gone 10 deep already in this first half, and here is Spears, who sinks one. He went over 1,000 points for his career at 3 different schools over the weekend.
It's a deadly mid-range shooter there, and you've got to get to him, and you definitely don't want to get to his right hand on that mid-range shot.
Started at Duquesne, they went to Georgetown, and now Florida State, as Mintz draws another foul. The ACC's 5th leading scorer at 18 points per game. Any point you always give to guards in particular?
Yeah, I give that to guys, and for him, just
Cuff and then Mintz, who missed both. Lead is 7 for Florida State, inside of 7 to go in this first half. Taylor tips away the Watkins lob, and the Orange runs with Mintz. Oh, a hammer! Lead Syracuse. Jameer Watkins with post entry for Jalen Gainey. Started his career at Brown, had it roll off, and then over the back, it's a foul on Baba Miller.
And just look at where he is, where he starts. Just hits an extra gear right there without a dribble. And Watkins makes a business decision there and just leans out of the way. He did. He knows how it feels when a guy has a run and start like I. That was a big possession defensively there for Syracuse. Getting back into this game, down by 7. And
a lot from Spears for Miller, who can distribute quite well. Going to work down low, and he draws a foul to us today that I'm still trying to work to make it click.
Yeah, guys on the block and drawing fouls like this, then they'll put bigger guys.
Who rattles one out, and Brown clears it. Starling accelerates off the bounce and gets it to go, plus a foul.
Just a great job there. Just
against Pitt last week, followed it up with a season-high 22 again. Bobo and no, and then Starling went up for the rebound. Syracuse with a chance to tie or take the lead, and Mintz saw the opening and draws a foul on Darren Green. It's just about 80%. Misses on the North Carolina, who last night against Wake Forest got to 8-0. Tipped away by Brown, but secured by Corin. Jackson moves it. Orley slicing. Jackson found it, and it rolled off. Corin, the finish.
It's nearly the second turnover there off the baseline out of bounds in that zone. I expect Autry to go back to the 2-3 at some point.
Cuff gets wrapped up, and it's a foul on Jackson. In the first half for Kyle Cuff. Richard, and a busted kneecap to boot. Even
more dangerous than they already are. They are really fun to watch.
5-0 in the SEC. Perfect for Bruce Pearl. Syracuse down 2. It's Benny Williams. Line drive. Triple doesn't go, but followed by Brown. And we're locked at 26.
We're going to say Benny Williams threw an alley-oop there. That's
yeah, he'll take it.
We're going to put it in the scoring book as an oop.
Watkins backing down Cuff. He's got the size advantage, and Cuff wraps him up.
With coach, and they're a little bit late on some of their weak side actions, but.
So that's 8 Syracuse turnovers against this Florida State defense. Spears slashing, and it's a goaltend on Malik Brown.
Primo Spears with a guy that can get his own shot off the bounce, and not a lot of guys around either team that does that as well as he does.
Connecticut native who has a dozen family members here. Mintz draws more contact as he got Jalen Gainey up in the air.
You have to be guys shooting 80%. He's got to figure that out.
Yeah, he's missed enough.
And they're not the best three-point shooting teams.
Mintz misses both.
The Orange shoot free throws better, but they're struggling mightily right now.
Watkins attacks in transition, and it rolled off. Benny Williams down with his 6th rebound. Mintz pushes in transition, and it's goaltending on Baba Miller.
He was coming in from behind here, and wow. Unless you're going to tell me that was in the cylinder, Maybe that was the call.
Which I don't think it was.
No.
That did not appear to be the call. Watkins drives for 2 more and muscles it up to 10 points. And he's had a big first half.
That tight curl, they're curling into the middle of the lane, and with Watkins' size and athletic ability, it's just tough to defend. You got to cut it and make him pop to the corner.
Mintz turns the corner on Deontay Green and gets bumped again. Telling us last night that he remembers going up against Florida State last year as a freshman.
And you have a guard like him, a lead guard like him, that can create for us.
Mintz gets a switch from Green, and you know he wants to attack. Gives it up to Starling. Starling crosses up Nickelberry. Starling, tough shot on the baseline and one. Evansville, just 20 minutes away from here. He said, I feel like myself again after his performance in the last week. Couldn't stamp it. $1:20 to go until halftime. Florida State now down by 2, and Watkins got it back, muscles it up, and draws a foul. Jameer Watkins is doing yeoman's work. Didn't say to us a shoot around today. He's an attack dog.
Not many wings that 6'7" has this length and athleticism. Jump, you just got to beat it and get it across half court.
What's the run and jump?
They're setting up in man, and sometimes they'll leave that, and then they'll go to man, and they'll just run and trap the basketball.
Baseline reverse. Fell off for Bell. Kept alive for Williams.
That is a teammate underneath the rim.
Now Baba Miller gives it up to Jalen Worley. A ball screen. Shot clock inside at 10. Corner kick, Miller. Yes, sir!
Top of smaller guards. And rejected the ball screen in the middle of the floor and put the orange in rotation. Baba Miller stepped up, made the corner three. Big time shot.
Final 6 seconds for J.J. Starling. And he draws a foul with 2.8 to go in the first half.
Player of the year conversations. I think he's in the national player of the year conversation right now.
And J.J. Starling puts Syracuse up by 1. Corrin gets it in the Nickelberry from half court. No dice. And that does it for the first half in Central New York, with Syracuse up. 3 and white matches up with Jalen Worley. Florida State makes a change to its second half starting lineup. That's a rarity for Leonard Hamilton. Jalen Gainey is in there for Deontay Green. Gainey gave good minutes in the first half. Baba Miller gets it to go with the left hand.
You can see the emphasis must have been to go inside. They're putting Gainey in for his physicality, but for Baba Miller there to start off posting up.
Remember, Syracuse dealt with a lot of foul trouble in the first half. Taylor, Cuff, Copeland, and Starling with some foul issues. Match with Gainey. Turnaround jumper no.
He loves to drive left and spin back to that right hand.
Watkins had it tipped away by Brown. King of the deflection. Mintz in transition. Keeps it. And another goaltending violation.
You know, it's always an argument, and I think there's a fair argument definitely for the ACC, and I think there needs to be a criteria of what they expect and what they're looking for, and there's just so many, seems to be so many different narratives about how do you get in. And
Brown on a nice feed from Mintz.
Great ball screen. They were hurting them on slips. Now they're just going to ride you up the switch.
Brown sets the screen. Short roll. Mintz probes. And Mintz, what do you know?
Now he just got to do the hard part and make the free throw.
End of the floor. What does Brown do for them that makes it so successful?
And putting your defense in rotation, and they're not the offense.
Well, this is an 8-0 run for Syracuse. Up by 7. Florida State needs an answer. Baba Miller getting into the post. Battling with Brown, and Miller's got 2 more, doing exactly what he told us he was going to do more of.
He has. He's come out this second half, and that's his second basket of trying to catch it in the post or the mid-post. Sometimes he can just turn around and just shoot it over. No one's going to block his shot. Just turn, face, and elevate.
He's got 10. Career high is only 14. And Mintz draws another foul. Again, we told you in the first half. Second among power else in the ACC.
I don't think anybody's catching him. I like my return on my investment.
Bosses are pleased. 7-point game. Jalen Worley in Florida State needs a bucket. Jameer Watkins off the Green screen. Turn the corner. Top pass. Green finishes. And a foul.
Get in and rotate. Just a great pass, though. Just a great route.
He is showing off the full tool belt.
He's doing everything.
J.J. Starling off the bounce for Syracuse. Gives it up for Bell. Off a shot fake into the mid-range for 2.
Got to go for the shot fake. Bryant with Bell. He shoots the 3 so well. Good for him to get himself going.
Worley cuts. Finishes. Got it from Green.
With this lineup they have out there.
There's Primo Spears. Trying to get Green going. Just one made bucket. It's a 3. Took it off the bounce that time. Followed underneath by Watkins, and he draws another foul.
You give up offensive rebounds, and you can't get out in transition with opponents all year long. But Florida State does a great job of making.
Williams.
Judah Mintz thought he got another foul there.
Spears comes up to get it around the screen. From the elbow, the leaner ties us at 48.
Judah gets it, just clear out everybody and just go.
And you had just said that for the most part you thought they had handled it well. You wanted to see him keep it with Mintz and Starling. Oakland draws a foul. Well, we've had 35 made buckets from the floor in this game. This game will reach 9:15 before it's over.
Yes. Just this possession.
Do you think that's a smart decision?
Well, the fouls are piling up, and if you stay in it, it gives you enough time to kind of stay in and help and rebound.
That's the fear, though, that you get Darren Green some space. Syracuse dodges a bullet, and now the Orange runs with Mintz attacking and finishing.
And that's what you can do as well. It's 2-3 zone.
Spears gives it up for Watkins. Knowles down by 4. Long way to go here in central New York. Spears hoists. Hits! Primo Spears. Only 5 of 23 from three-point range this season. Buries one for the Noles.
It's a great job there, just reversing it, finding him in the corner.
Starling finishes through the contacts. Defended by Spears.
Great job in the defensive end there by Spears, staying in front of the ball.
He moves it. Watkins stops it. 1-point game. He's played all but a minute and 6 seconds in this game. Couldn't bury the 3. And the rebound secured by Cam Corrin.
Quick shots like that are like turnovers. You don't get a chance to set your D, and this is what happens.
Corrin on the receiving end from Spears, and Florida 8 of its last 10. Midway through the second half, Starling escaped Spears, rolled off, and Williams couldn't stuff the follow. Noles run, Spears, Watkins.
Wall down, milk the shot clock. Great job here by Mintz. Just beat it, get up the court, give you more time in the half court.
Orange offense has gone more than 3 minutes without points. Mintz to step through, gets the roll, and Judah Mintz, 5th leading scorer in the ACC, is 22 tonight.
Now they get to set their defense, settle down.
Worley turned the corner on Brown. Corrin, second effort. Well, you wondered where points would come from for the Noles with Baba Miller on the bench. It's been no issue for Leonard Hamilton's team, and now Baba Miller's getting ready to come back in. Nice follow there from Brown.
Great job by Mintz getting to the rim, and Brown just continue to stand after the effort on the offensive glass. He's not getting those short rolls, but that's the way to impact the game. Just attack the offensive glass.
Watkins draws on himself before he's good on the first. So
that's been a big part of their turnaround. Just wearing teams down. Full court pressure.
Transfer didn't debut this year until December 16th for the Seminoles. So that added an explosive score and another warm body for Leonard Hamilton. Then starting it over. Darren Green's off to the races and finishes.
Critical moment here for the Orange.
Mintz. Broadway.
How about
in 3. Inside of 8 to go. Watkins thought about it. Drives on Cuff. Watkins on a step through. Yes, sir. How about 22 from Jameer Watkins? Match.
That time, Mintz didn't even. He took one step across half court and stopped.
Watkins draws a foul, but it's on the floor. Full figures with 10. Foul trouble for Syracuse.
The bench points. Florida State's plus 12.
Half. They've outscored Syracuse by 8 since halftime and have built the lead to 7. That's as large as it's been on either side with 7 to go. Mintz. Shot clock winding down. Spears all over him. Mintz. Tough shot off the glass.
Yeah, you can see it coming. Just back up. You got to find Green. Green's the one guy you got to find.
22 in black, bottom left of your screen. He cuts. Flashing. Green for Worley. Back to Green. Left alone. Gets it to go.
He's the one guy you... No.
Mintz driving on Miller. Lost it. Watkins on the bench right now for Florida State, and it's Miller in attack mode. The lead is 10, and Red Autry needs a timeout. There have been games this year where Syracuse applies full court pressure and works its way back into games. They got to do it against the Noles. Point from Worley.
And this is... You got
this possession.
Yeah, you got to be careful here because you overextend your defense, and now you open yourself up to all the driving angles you give to this group.
Corn on the block. Worley follows it up. That's your 6'7" point guard Seminoles. They get it to Primo Spears. They summon the ball screen from Cam Corn. Spears tried to snake it, turned it over. Copeland runs. Copeland draws a foul. Florida State has authored a 14. Quadier Copeland was mired in foul trouble in the first half.
They've missed 9 free throws here tonight.
Foul on Worley, who's not a great free throw shooter. Now Copeland nearly picked it off. Worley underneath for Corn. Catch, blocked by Cuff, and Watkins pulls it out. Shot clock at 5. Spears off the bounce. All the way to the rack and a foul.
Primo Spears.
With his folks watching him for just the second time in a Florida State uniform. He's got a dagger. Cuff drew a foul. Florida State is different in part because of Primo Spears.
It hurts you on the glass. Spears knows his role. Couple that with Chandler Jackson coming off the bench, Josh Nickelberry coming in. And it's just not a team you want to play.
Trying to get to 6-2 in the ACC. They would stay 2 games back of North Carolina at the top, and it would be a quad 1 win for Florida State. As Mintz
stayed into the stadium.
Started his career at Duquesne, Power 5 programs as a cornerback.
Oh wow, at his size, he could have been an elite corner.
Lock you up. Mike Norvell maybe getting some ideas.
Seminoles here on a 13-1 run here.
Starling misses from deep. Syracuse 1 of 14 from long range. Last time Syracuse only made 1 3-pointer in a game. You got to
stick to your man-to-man principles and keep working at them.
Hey, tomorrow at 5 Eastern. You can watch it over on ACC Network. Also right here on ESPN2 and the ESPN app. A lot of buzz as well with what Fran Brown is doing on the recruiting trail for the Orange already. 2:18 to go. Mintz has been tasked with a lot here in the second half. Copeland draws a foul. Always switching. They're aggressive. They're pressuring. They run all these bodies at you. As everyone
5 of 16 from behind the 3-point line. So if they get it, and they all think they're starting to make their free throws as well. This was a team that was the worst free throw shooting team in the ACC, and these guys are gaining their confidence. They've been in these moments. They've been in these close games. And
Watkins, an exclamation point out of the corner.
Why not? He's just played so well tonight.
Career high 27. He's got 11 rebounds as well, and that's matched a career high for the 4th-year player and VCU transfer. Tough shot at Mintz, who got fouled compared to the rest of the Orange.
Yeah, I thought he got early, and he's going to draw a crowd. He's the guy when you're playing it.
Mintz has made 10 free throws. Hashtag free throws matter, as Brent Axe would always say. 1:20 to go, Florida State by 18.
That they do.
Well, North Carolina's at the top of the ACC, and then it is a glut of teams behind the heels, including Florida State. There's Cuff out in transition, and he lays it in.
Attacking Carey in the switch.
Off the screen. a turnover. So 39 seconds left. Is it Carolina and then everyone else in the ACC, or do you put Duke or maybe Clemson?
I think they're playing. I think they're playing better on both ends of the floor. I think they're the best defensive team in the league, and when you combine offense, they're the best. They're the most complete team right now. And they're showing it.
Showed it last night over on ESPN against Wake Forest. That rolls out for Bell, and that will do it here at Syracuse. Florida State comes on the road and with an explosive second half takes down Syracuse 85-69, and Florida State just keeps on coming at you.
They do. They're coming at you in waves and rebounding from that home loss versus Clemson, and came to Syracuse, New York, and got one on the road.
6-2 in the ACC and a third straight win at Syracuse for Leonard Hamilton's team. For our entire crew behind the scenes, led by Kristen Hennessy and Dave Tasca, for Randolph Childress, I'm Mike Monaco saying so long, but keep it right here.